From somewhere below the surface of the Midwest, in the studio wing of the adult fans of Nerf's secret bunker, this is the AFoN Show. With your hosts, Mr. K and Mr. S.
Hello Nerf Nation! Today we're going to be talking about barrel extensions and shoulder stocks.
I like butt stocks.
That's what you like to call them.
That's what I like to call them. You butt it up against your shoulder. It's a butt stock.
Yes, you butt it up against your shoulder. That's why it's a shoulder stock.
6 of one, half dozen of the other. Anyway, we got a few things to offer here. Honestly, there haven't been a whole lot of barrel extensions and shoulder butt stocks out there, but there have been some pretty cool ones.
So first up, we have the long shot barrel extension.
This is the oldest, probably the most gaudy one out of it.
Yep, the first barrel extension paved the way for all the rest, and it still uses the same attachment as the current ones, which allows all of the barrel extensions to be interchangeable.
Everything is universal. It uses the same locking groove, whatever you want to call it, mechanism. The coolest thing about this one really is that it doubles as its own blaster. It's a single shot, pump action. You put a clip system dart in there and it goes. I mean, it is what it is. For the first one, I don't really care for it.
No, I don't really care for it either. It's too big to go with any other one besides
the long shot.
I mean, and the gun that's integrated into it honestly has never worked that well for me.
No, it doesn't get much distance.
Although it is one of the few blasters that actually works fairly well with the clip system darts, even though it's not.
It doesn't use the clip.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a little single shot pot shooter, it's not too bad.
It's good in probably an emergency or something like that, but you know, I wouldn't use it otherwise.
I wouldn't rely on it.
No.
I wouldn't like try and use it as its own blaster by any means. Now, one nifty little thing that I'm going to point out about this is if you don't know or if you haven't seen, there's a little groove in the top here that you can put an extra dart in, and you know, extra dart storage is always a plus. Doesn't fit the dart very securely. It's kind of hit and miss. If you flop it around, it'll probably fall out. But you know, you can store an extra dart in there. It's cool.
Yeah, the yellow ones don't seem to hold the darts in very well, but my blue one holds the dart in well enough.
Well, the blue one's older. I would suppose it would probably work a little bit better.
But I mean, all these barrel extensions really, it comes down to your own choice on whether you use them or not. In my opinion, they don't really add or detract from much distance. I mean, it's going to be a little different when you use one and when you don't, but they're really for aesthetic purposes.
Just like with the majority of the stuff that we've been talking about, it's all about aesthetics. It's about customizability, making your blaster how you want it to be. You know, mix and match, play around with it.
Yep. Next, we go on to the Recon.
Recon, the first twofer. You got both a barrel extension and a butt stock with this one. I'm going to keep calling them butt stocks because I don't care.
That's fine.
This one's pretty cool. This one looks good on the long shot. It looks good on the Recon. It looks good on the deploy. It's kind of just a nice, well-designed, good-looking barrel extension.
Yep, and it's small enough that it works on all of them, and it looks great on all of them. And being yellow, it works with most of them color-wise. The only one that it doesn't really work with is Long Strike.
Long Strike, we're still waiting on the yellow recolor or the Long Strike.
It's got to come eventually.
Eventually, yes. Yeah. Speaking of the Long Strike, that's the next one up here. I like this one. I don't know. It just looks cool. We were testing this out earlier. And I mean, this just looks awesome. It's like I was saying, it's like the pistol that Joker had at the end of the first Batman movie. It's awesome. Looks good on the Long Strike. Looks good on the Raider. Doesn't have a thingy to put it on, but it's the same color as the Raider. There we go. There's my cop out. But no, I mean, it is what it is. It's got a little bit bigger bore on the inside than the previous two, so it'll work a little bit easier with like the taggers or the sucker darts.
Yeah, for the Spectre, you pretty much want to use either the long strike or the Spectre's own barrel extension because of the larger bore in them. Now it will work with the long shot and the Recon's barrel extension, however it doesn't work as well as the others.
It tends to add, I don't know if the darts actually rub on the inside of the bore of the barrel, but we've just found better results using the long strike and the Spectre's stock barrel extension as opposed to the other two.
Yep. And of course, speaking of the Spectre, we can't leave out the Spectre's barrel extension. To me, it's one of the best of all the barrel extensions, even though it doesn't have tactical wheels.
Well, I like having need tactical wheels.
No, it doesn't.
Really.
It doesn't need tactical wheels. But I mean, I like the ones with tactical wheels. It allows you to customize your blaster a little bit more.
More bits and bobs and.
But I think
your term.
But I like having a barrel extension that looks kind of like a silencer or a suppressor.
Recoil reducer, yeah. This is probably the most realistic looking of the barrel extensions that Nerf has come out with so far.
I mean, in real world weapons, the only thing you're going to put on the end of your barrel is probably going to be a suppressor or silencer. Otherwise, you're really not going to use.
It's going to make my barrel longer.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean.
Longer is better.
I mean, it's really not going to work that well, but with Nerf, it's really, most of these are about aesthetics.
Aesthetics. I keep stressing, and I just want everybody to understand, all you modders and whatever out there, these are toys. They're plastic. Don't make them more complicated than they need to be. Sadly, that's all that we've seen so far for barrel extensions. Wish we could see more. Hopefully, we'll see more in the future. Buttstocks have been kind of hit and miss for me. Some of them have been really cool. There's been like 2 of them which are pretty much just redesigns of the same one that has really struck my fancy. The rest of them are kind of. I
mean, really, we only have 3 types of shoulder stocks. We have the Recon type, the Raider type, and the Spectre type.
The Spectre, yeah.
I mean, all the others are basically variants on the same.
On that, yeah.
So, first we have the Recon.
This thing was so misleading when the Recon first came out, because if you look at this thing, it looks collapsible. It looks like you can move this or maybe slide it in. You buy it, no, it's just a chauncey little thing. I'm so afraid this thing is gonna break. But it's cool. It's got a. What's cool about it is you can slide an extra clip in there, which actually does lend a little bit of stability once the clip is locked in here to this thing. It makes it feel a little better. All in all, I don't like this thing.
I don't like it as much as the others either.
I never use it.
The only positive that this one has over all the other shoulder stocks is that it has a place for a clip. None of the other ones that are removable have it. The only one that has it that's otherwise is the long strikes, and of course the long strikes isn't supposed to be removable.
Not supposed to be removable. And Nitron. It's not extendable, but it's got a spot for a clip.
Yeah, but it's also not removable, and it kind of sucks. Like we covered on one of our previous episodes.
It puts a little divot in the disc, but other than that,
the divot's still there in the disc.
It hasn't come out yet?
No, it hasn't come out yet. I thought that it would come out by now, but no. It's still there. I can still pick out the disc that the divot's in.
Huh.
So I don't know. It's kind of a iffy thing to me.
Yeah. Whatever.
So now we have my favorite stock.
Probably the most successful one too.
Yeah, is the Raider stock. Now this one's from the Gear Up series, so it's orange. I like the orange one.
On it, though.
Yeah, yep. It still does have the digital camo on it. It's collapsible. It looks great. It feels great on your shoulder.
Yep. It's sturdy. It doesn't feel like it's gonna break apart like the other one.
Nope. And it works. It works well with all blasters.
Yeah, pretty much everything. You can throw that on anything that accepts a buttstock. And
the only problem that I've noticed with some of these is that every once in a while, if you don't have it on there just right, this little clip in here that holds it on will pop off the blaster. Now that's only if you take it and you pull it, it'll come off. But
I've had that happen like once or twice where I'm pulling on it to extend it and it'll snap off. But I mean,
yeah,
it's
it's
negligible. It's negligible. Yeah. This one's probably seen the most recolors out of the available buttstocks.
It's pretty. I think it's pretty close to the Recons. So the Recon's got clear whiteout.
No,
the clear didn't. The whiteout didn't.
No, but it got Sonic.
Sonic, yes. You know, and this one's got gear up. It's got clear. It's got the regular blue.
Yeah, the regular blue.
So, but I mean, it hasn't seen quite as many as the Recon, but it's definitely nice to have this in more colors.
It's, you know, it's kind of like the Spectre's barrel extension. It looks like it's modeled after a real life buttstock. I mean, which makes it a lot more cool for tricking out your blaster. It's more functional that way. All around it was a great design. Great design.
Absolutely. And from that we go to the Super Soaker's shoulder stock. And this one, of course, modeled after the Raiders, but
the only real difference is the grippies along the end here.
Well, no, it's not entirely. If you look at the top, it is different.
Oh, yeah, the top is
and it's a little shorter too. Well, no, it's the same.
It's the same.
But it has a little bit different angle here, and
so it is a little bit more of a redesign
it is a little
than
different.
I initially thought.
It's from what we heard at the Nerf event last year. This was actually modeled by a different designer, so that's why it accounts for the differences. But I do like it. I wish that they would kind of come out with some that are like this for the N-Strike line instead of just the Super Soaker line, because I mean, I don't really care for the Soaker Wars logo on here.
I liked that logo. I think they should have done more with that. The red versus blue Super Soaker thing, I liked it.
But other than that, I think they should come out with more colors, just so that you can... Because I have this on my Crimson Series Recon right now, and the colors match perfectly, and it's a great addition. So I can have a great shoulder stock on my
A good
Recon.
shoulder stock on instead of using the Chauncey little thingamajig.
Yeah, it's a lot better than the Recons. It's a lot sturdier against your shoulder.
Yep.
And from there...
Another one that I thought was going to be cooler than it really is.
Yeah, it's not nearly as cool as I thought it was going to be, but it is very novel.
It looks nice. It's pretty innovative, being able to wrap it around the Spectre. I haven't tried it on any other blasters.
It works okay on other blasters. Some blasters more than others, you know, because it's specifically designed for the Spectre.
It's another one of those customizable things like the shield that we talked about in the last episode for the for the Stampede. It's designed for that blaster, so it suffers a little bit in that respect. And it's not as sturdy. It's kind of the same kind of Chauncey design as the
It's
Recon.
definitely more sturdy than the Recons. I don't feel like I'm gonna break this nearly as much as I feel like I'm gonna break this. Because I mean, look. This thing.
You can snap it, dude. See, I'm so worried about that thing just collapsing.
I'm not really worried about that. See, this is a little bit. It's sturdier, but it also has a little bit more give to it. So you know you can pull it up to your shoulder and it flexes a little bit. I'm not really worried about this thing breaking nearly as much as the Recons.
You can take it. I don't know.
But I mean, see, my main problem with this is it's not nearly as comfortable. This is really tiny. It doesn't really have any kind of depression here for your shoulder.
It's not.
So
it's not ergonomic.
It's not as ergonomic, no, and it's kind of off-centered to the center line of the blaster, and that kind of lends it not very well to being put into your shoulder.
They tried to compensate for that with the bend in the plastic here, which is really just to allow the thing to snug up against the Spectre with the silver.
Yeah, and it keeps it from other blasters. From interfering.
The extruding thing, like on the Recon with the longer spring thingy, whatever you want to call it, the plug,
Plunger
the safety recall thing. Yeah, that's what I call it.
So yeah, I mean, I like the novelty of this one. You know, the fact that it spins around and locks into place.
It's a cool mechanism.
It's cool. It looks cool. Not as great functionality as the Raiders.
Oh, definitely. The Raiders is like leaps and bounds.
Yeah, the Raiders, I'd have to say, above all, is the top on all of these shoulder stocks.
Yep.
So, but most recently, we have the Vortex's Praxis shoulder stock.
It's just basically a redesign of the Recons, but it's better. It's more sturdy. They took away. We'll put them side by side here. They filled in this gap here with all this plastic here, which makes it more stable. They extended this down, made it a bit more ergonomic than the boxy look on this one. It fits better up against your shoulder than the other one. It looks a little bit better. I like this one by far better than
I do like it better than the Recons. I don't really care for how big this is. This seems a little bit bigger than it needs to be, you know, because it kind of just seems a little too big compared to...
It follows the lines on the Praxis, though. I mean, it follows up with the length on the handle on the Praxis, which works.
Yeah, it would have been nice if they would have had a place for another clip in here, because, yeah, I mean, the only clip that you can get for the Vortex line right now is...
The smaller one.
Smaller one.
10-round clip.
And, you know, it would have been nice to have a place to put it on here like you do on the Recon.
On the Recons, yeah.
And another thing that's different about this shoulder stock compared to all the rest of them is that instead of one, it has two little clips in here. And now all the blasters have spots.
They all have two
at the
notches.
attachment point. They have two notches back here, but this is the first shoulder stock to actually take advantage of that in locking it on there. So I mean, as you can see, I had a little bit of problems trying to get it actually off of here. And it's not going to come off.
No, it locks in a lot more stably than the Recons, definitely, and also on the Raider stock. And I don't know why they didn't do that in the first place. If you're going to put the notches in there on both sides, why not put two locking clips in there to begin with? It's not like it would be that much more work.
No, I don't think so. But yeah, it's a nice step in the evolution of the Recon stock. You know, moving forward with, you know, different things that they can do with them.
I would like to see more variations, more new stuff. I like being able to trick out my blasters with all this cool stuff. I mean, we need to see more. We need to see more. We have some awesome blasters out there. We have some great things that'll take all of this stuff together, or one or the other, whichever way you want to do it. We just need more variety.
Yeah, and it'd be nice if they sold some of these separately.
Yeah, just like with everything, if we could get like some customizable packs.
Yeah,
that had some barrel extensions, butt stocks, and rail attachments.
If you have the deploy and you have the barricade, you have chance to upgrade your blaster by adding a barrel extension to the deploy and a shoulder stock to the barricade.
But it doesn't come stock with them, so unless you have the other blasters that come with the barrel extensions or the butt stocks, you really are missing out. Because I mean, the deploy may not be the greatest thing in the world to have a barrel extension on, but it looks pretty cool. I mean, you put the silencer thingy on here, it just makes the blaster look cooler.
Absolutely. And having at least some of these available separately would be nice.
Yeah.
You know, and they could honestly come out with a pack of like 2 barrel extensions and 2 stocks, and I would be perfectly happy paying.
I'd pay $20.
Yeah,
I'd pay $20 for that.
So, and you know, with them coming out now with the Alpha Troopers barrel clip.
Oh yeah.
It's, you know, I don't know. I see it as more of a likely chance that they're going to come out with more stuff.
Yeah,
and I'd really like to see that.
I'm very happy, by the way, that they are finally selling one of the barrel clips separately. It's the 18 rounder. It's the smaller one, but it's still a barrel clip separately that comes with extra darts.
Yep.
Finally,
it's a nice way for them to test the waters for the future for
yes.
releasing the 35 round barrel clip and, God willing, the 50 round double barrel clip that is off somewhere in the ether.
We can only hope that they're going to take that rod out of the fire, you know, sprinkle some magic on it, and poof, we'll have it. But time will tell.
Time will tell.
Time will tell.
But yeah, I mean, they had the the kits in the past with the tactical rail accessories, but they've never really done anything with the barrel extensions and the shoulder stocks. And it'd kind of be nice to see them come out with something with some of them in it. You know, I mean, not every blaster takes them, but a good amount of the blasters.
There's enough of them that do to warrant something like that, I think, anyway.
Yeah, and personally, I took the shoulder stock off of my barricade that I got with it in the exclusive version, and I put it right on my Elf Trooper. Because, I mean, that's another one that doesn't come with a stock and looks great with the stock on it.
Looks great with the stock on it, yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much all that exists right now for barrel extensions and shoulder stocks.
Right now, we can only hope that there will be something in the future if they expand upon things like the Vortex line, want to get a little bit more risky, put some of those, add some of those elements in there. I would really like to see. I'm almost going to issue this as a challenge. I would like to see a removable barrel extension on a Vortex blaster. I think it'd be novel. I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be a challenge for them to try and do.
I think it's definitely something that they could do. You know, if they took the clip technology from the shoulder stock and put it on the front, I think they would be able to do it.
Yeah, just so like a push button, because I know everything's got to be kind of boxy or cylindrical or ovular for the discs to fly out of. I'd like to see something.
Yeah, I mean, if they took something like this and made it clip onto the front like this, it would work.
Exactly.
It'd have to be a little wider, but that'd keep people from putting on the
It could
shoulder
work.
stock
It could work.
So yeah.
Yeah, let's hope that more good things keep coming in this realm. Customizability. It's always in our minds. We like to see it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And if you'd like a chance to get some of our shirts that we've had on the show, you can go to shop.adultfansofnerf.com to pick some up. And if you want to see another type of shirt available, I'm sure that we can design.
Shoot us an email, questions@adultfansofnerf.com.
Yep, and that
we'll take any suggestions, ideas.
Suggestions
We're
on our
here for
shirts,
you.
questions for more episodes in the future, comments, all that type of stuff.
Shoot us a good question. Maybe we'll talk about it on the show. Give you a little bit of FaceTime too.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Love, peace, and chicken grease, guys. Have a good one.